Hello and welcome back to Thinking About Star Realms. In this video, we're going to be playing Chapter 3, Mission 3 of the campaign. As always, if you have any strategy tips or think that I made the wrong decision at any point, please put it in the comments. As you see, yeah. We started with 4 more authority than our opponent, because I believe they should have... Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I have to check the replay. I think we started with a bit more authority than them, but they started with a bunch of explorers in their deck. And we just have a normal starting deck, but we start off with 2 gambits. We got the Frontier Fleet, which we saw in the last game, just gives us 1 more damage each turn. And we have the Salvage Operation, which lets us put a card from our discard pile on top of our deck. And I am not going to use this gambit right, so please go in the comments and tell me when I should be playing it, because I know I never play it right, but it is good if you have, some card draw and can instantly turn a card over, or, if you see a card that's going to fit well into your next hand for ally abilities and whatnot. Anyways, so our opponent does have the trade lead, but we do have, these nice gambits that are going to be helping us to be aggressive. What do we want to buy here? Battle Station is a thing you could buy, but honestly, not worth it. Because, not like we're stopping any aggression from our opponent. Embassy Yacht is good, I guess. It's, the 2 trade is not bad, and the 3 authority is fine, but it really shines when you have a bunch of bases, so Double Explorer it is, because, we can build into the mothership. Trade Escort, though Trade Escort's probably going to go fast with our opponent having their explorers. Blob World is a thing we can build around if we end up buying a bunch of blobs. Okay, as I said, Trade Escort went. We can get the trade pod into the mothership and the blob world, which is... that's a good plan. Let's grab our own missile bot, because scrap's great early game, and we don't want our opponent to get a second missile bot and totally out-scrap us. Okay. The AI is turtling a bit. So what do we want to scrap and what do we want to buy? We can have, 3 or 4 trade, so our options are Embassy Yacht, Merc Cruiser, and Explorers. Merc Cruiser, it's pretty good damage for its cost, and it does activate ally abilities, but we're going for, having a good trade deck. And let's see, no, our opponent still did keep 2 explorers, so we're keep trying to maintain a good economy into the mothership. So I don't want to dilute that economy with the Merc Cruiser. So Embassy Yacht and Explorer are both fine, but again, we've not picked up any bases yet, so the Embassy Yacht is not that good yet. While we can just grab some Explorers and then scrap them out. On that subject, with Missile Bot, we can scrap the Viper, which pushes us better towards having more trade per hand, and then we'll be able to get 2 explorers, and I'll keep this explorer for another go around, just because, maybe we'll miss the mothership this shuffle, or maybe, we'll go for like a blob wheel next shuffle. And I think with, how this game's progressing, we don't need to get our deck efficient yet. And that is either Mothership or Blob World. And I think you do want to buy the Mothership first, because if I can only get one, I'd prefer the Mothership. Are we guaranteed to have Mothership money next turn, I wonder? That's going to be 3, so probably not. So let's get the Mothership. Ooh, breeding site. So there is a really good blob synergy going on. Yeah, so we have 3 explorers and a trade pod. So I think we have enough trade that I don't want to keep the 4th explorer around. Yes, it's not dealing the damage because the battle station, but I'm fine with that. And we could have used the salvage operation to put the mothership on top, but I don't wanna. We could put an explorer on top, but that's going to be all of 5 trade, which again, not enough to buy anything. And I think we'll probably draw enough for the breeding site next turn anyways. So let's hold on to that gambit. So we got 6 trade, that's great. So yes, grabbing the breeding site. But I think we're still a no on the trade pod right now. Guess we'll see what comes up under the breeding site, because again, that 2 damage ally ability and the ability to activate the mothership is good, but at its core, it's still just like it's only 2 damage, and that trade is not that amazing for us anymore. Again, trade bot, yes, scrap is good, but the rest of the card is crappy enough that scrap's not going to make up for it for, at least a couple turns. And since, as I said, we're getting out of the trade game, I don't want the explorer. That battle station's been doing good work for our opponent, but, once it meets the mothership, it's gone. Yep, don't want that. So we want to buy the Merc Cruiser. And we really wanted the battle pod, but yeah. And now that we have the Arc in play, maybe trade is back on the menu. Who knows? We got 6. So definitely want the Merc Cruiser. Fuck, I totally misplayed that. What I should have done, looking back, is first thing I should have done in my turn was use that salvage operation to move the trade pod on top of my deck, then draw it with a mothership, and I would have had the trade pod plus 4 scouts, which was the Arc. And then I'd be able to draw another card off of, the ally ability. As I said, I'm not going to use the salvage operation at the right time. We can still pull that off next turn, though. Because we'd have 8 even, which, maybe we can go for the blob wheel if our opponent steals the Arc. I kind of do like that, because then we get to scrap something from our discard pile with Missile Bot. So not all is lost. But let's buy the Merc Cruiser first before we start setting up the next turn. Maybe something great will come up here and change our plans entirely. But yeah, the reason I'm getting the Merc Cruiser is, we need to go into aggression mode now, because, buying shit is too late at this point. And again, we're going to be getting our Arc anyway, so I don't really want the trade pod. Evacuating the trade game ASAP. And let's grab the trade pod back on top of our deck. I don't want the trade pod, or explorer. Yeah, they got the arc. Early bird gets the worm, but hey, we can get a blob world. So that's a thing. And then we can scrap a scout, because again, we're getting out of the trade game. Picking up a star market would be fine. Picking up the space station would be nice, because, you know, star market's going to work well with, well, for one play, it's going to work well with the breeding site, and it punishes our opponent slightly for destroying the blob world. Space station is just solid 4 outpost, deals a bit of damage, and deals damage when it played when you have the breeding site out. And they take the trade pod, and the trade pod. Okay, so we got a command ship in play, so that's a thing to think about. So we will have 4 trade. And I think at this point going for trade is not a good idea, but Blob World is going to draw 3 cards. And I take 3 cards over the 5 damage, because, you know, we're getting to our mothership faster, we're getting to our missile bot scrap faster. You know, maybe we can get a battle mech. It is theoretically, mathematically possible that we can get the command ship, because, you know, we draw 3, so it's going to be Scout, Scout, Mothership, and then play Mothership to draw 2 more Scouts, but yeah. Yeah, we can play the Mech Cruiser as a 4th blob. I think that will work. And the only thing that it could possibly activate is the Missile Bot, on the very slight chance that we draw the Missile Bot. And I'll take the card draw over the possibility of 2 damage. I'm actually not sure if this will work, but it should. Draw 4 cards, I think. 2, 3, 4. Draw 4. But we got the Missile Bot, so we missed out on our 2 damage. Not the biggest deal in the world. Now, do we want the Battle Mech or the Space Station? Battle Mech, because, you know, getting our deck... Yeah, I was saying, you know, scrap is kind of late, but it's still 4 damage and allies for a draw, so it's a decent body around that. Scrap. Star Market. It's a bit of a cautious play. Space Station. It's solid, but I like me my battle mech. And then we can scrap a scout. And the trade row is going, and, you know, to have, you know, some really nice high cost ships, but we got out of the, but I feel like we got out of the, you know, we were in a good spot when we got out of the trade hoarding phase of our deck, and so I think at this point getting back into trade is not worth it. We just gotta hit that gas and just like blast through our opponent, because we do have some really good cards while they have the arc, and a long game favors them. Let's use the scouts to pick up a missile bot, another missile bot before we reshuffle. Alternative is maybe a survey ship, but, you know, the trade's not much, and I mean, we're denying our opponent that yellow synergy for their war world, but meh. Missile bot synergizes with a lot of our, you know, other missile bot and battle mech well. So let's use the mothership to draw 2. I believe Blob World's only going to be a draw 1, so I think the 5 damage is better. And yeah, I mean, even if we draw like some trade, that'd only be 3, so surface ship, maybe we could draw the trade pod, but I think we don't need to rush our deck. We need to rush our opponent's health down more. It would be so cool if they had like, the whole, it would tell you how many cards you draw off of it. Maybe I should just suggest that on like the Discord or something. Fair enough. They destroyed the command ship and gave us a blob fighter, so thanks to the AI, I guess? Missilebot, scrap a scout. Battle mech, scrap a scout, and draw that. Okay. And that's game. So yeah, that's how you play that mission. Exploit your gambits to, at the right time, put a ship atop your base, top of your deck, or miss that opportunity and let the arc slip by. You know, either way is a good thing. Either way is viable, as you saw. But no, yeah, get the arc. Um, yeah. Again, this game, I think it's arguable if you or the opponent have the advantage because you have more authority on the gambits. So it's just another mission where it's just, I think, solid clean play wins you the game. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you see any other plays I missed other than the arc, please put them in the comments or, complain about the arc in the comments. I'm not your mom. Do whatever you want to. But thank you very much for watching. And, have a good night and see you next time. Bye.